Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Hey, got another Just All Lounge for us today, man. We got the Wamsley family murders. Is that how you pronounce that?
Mm-hmm. That's how I pronounced it in my head, but I don't know if it's correct. So yes.
No. I'm finna say, have you heard of it?
I haven't.
Okay. Hey, chill.
Don't chill.
Hold on. Wait a minute. This is 20.
Okay.
Hey, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it with a thumbs up.
Let's get it. Let's check this out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
It was nearly Christmas time in the quiet suburb of Mansfield, Texas, when police responded to an open line 911 call. When they arrived, officers found the garage door already open, the side entrance to the house unlocked. Inside, it was a shocking scene. Rick Wamsley, a well-liked local accountant, and his cheerful wife Susie, murdered in their home in the dead of the night. Adding to the unsettling circumstances, it seemed that the murders had actually taken place long before the 911 call was made. And the couple's 19-year-old son was nowhere to be found.
Ooh.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Here at JTL, we deliver serious, well-balanced coverage of the cases that really make you think. If that sounds like your type of true crime, then you've come to the right place. The case we're about to look at takes some odd turns. There are many facts of this case that are not in dispute, but there are many others that are left open to quite a bit of interpretation. Let's take a look. Rick and Susie Wamsley had been friendly when they attended high school together in Oklahoma in the 1970s. They were not exactly high school sweethearts, but years later, when Rick was attending Oklahoma State University and Susie a state Christian college, the two reconnected and began dating. Marriage and children soon followed. Susie gave birth to their daughter Sarah in 1978, then 6 years later, welcomed a son, Andrew. Rick qualified as a chartered accountant and had success working in the oil and gas industry. The family moved several times over the years to follow Rick's career opportunities, eventually landing in Fort Worth, Texas. Here, Rick launched his own lucrative accounting practice from his home office. By 2003, the Wamsleys were living in the upscale neighborhood of Mansfield. Sarah, 25 years old, was a mother herself and had her own apartment. 19-year-old Andrew had recently graduated high school. He was attending classes at junior college and working part-time at a miniature golf course. Rick and Susie had a very happy marriage. They had celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary in July 2003 with friends and family. In December of that year, Susie was gearing up for what would have been their 25th Christmas together. She had decorated the house inside and out. A large Christmas tree, lovingly covered in ornaments, was erected in the living room, gifts wrapped and situated on the floor surrounding it. It was a picturesque suburban holiday scene in Mansfield. That is, until a 911 call led police cruisers, emergency responders, and crime scene investigators to descend upon the quiet neighborhood. At 11:41 p.m. on the 11th of December, a Mansfield 911 operator received a phone call placed from the Wamsley family home. There was nothing but silence on the other end of the line. Erring on the side of caution, the dispatcher called police out to the house. Officer Patrick Knotts of the Mansfield Police Department was the first to arrive. He was soon joined by several colleagues, who walked the perimeter of the property and peered through the windows. Receiving no response from the doorbell, but finding the side door through the garage had been left open, the officers entered the house. Inside, they walked through the kitchen and noted the telephone attached to the wall had been lifted off the hook and abandoned laying on the counter. In the living room, they found Susie. She was on the couch, already cold to the touch. In the foyer, near to the front door, they discovered Rick, collapsed in a bloody scene, and also sadly beyond help. By 12:17, the EMTs had arrived and confirmed that both Susie and Rick were deceased. The house was sealed off, and the investigation began.
When officers arrived on scene, they found an open door and entered the residence. Officers found two deceased persons, a male and a female, inside the residence.
First heard it. When my wife told me at first, I don't think you expect to hear those things.
Autopsies revealed that Susie had died from a gunshot wound, but had also suffered 7 stab wounds. These were thought to have been delivered after she had already passed. It appeared that Susie had been sleeping in the living room.
Oh, that's just brutal, bro. That's brutal. That's hatred. That's personal. Not only are you deceased, but I already killed you dead, but I come back and stab you. That's like, and because that's one thing you always talk about when it comes down to when you hear stabbings, especially here in America. Can't speak on everywhere else because laws are different elsewhere. But here, especially when people have access to guns and things, when people choose a knife,
It's very personal.
yeah. When they choose like a weapon to get closer, it's because it's like I want to feel you. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a moment of self-defense or a slight of a moment.
Yeah.
But typically murders like that are more domestic. Like they know who the person that killed them personally knows them. Because you don't really get up close to someone to be able to,
Yeah.
Now, like, because say for instance, like the UK, you get a lot of articles from the UK. Those are the typical crimes that's committed there because that's the weapon that they have,
Delivered after she had already passed. It appeared that Susie had been sleeping in the living room, perhaps watching the television when she was attacked. Next to the area rug near to the fireplace in this room, detectives found 2 bloody handprints, which could have been left by the killer. There, they also found a bullet, 2 pieces of a blue plastic hair comb clip, and yet another piece of plastic on the floor nearby. Rick had met a similar fate as his wife, though perhaps not as swiftly. Bullet holes in the headboard of the bed in the master bedroom suggested the attack on Rick began in that room before moving into the foyer. There was no blood in the bedroom.
Could it possibly be whoever that did the crime took out the mother first? Then it started with the father. The father woke up, but then like get up. Like it woke him up, but like he didn't 100% get up. And then they went up there because there's multiple guns. So he had to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you I thought you were about to say something.
No, I'm just thinking because mom would be easier target, being though she's a woman. Father upstairs in the bed, or do you eliminate the hardest target first? But she's asleep downstairs on the couch with. So if you target father in a bed, right, you're risking the chance of him, the whatever scuffle you have up there, waking mom up and mom being able to flee to home. So you take mom out first. Dad now he's upstairs in the bed. He will have to come down to even exit out the home. So yeah, I'm just trying to see which possible murder happened first. So you shot mom in the head, then you swiftly went up there, had the altercation with the father, killed the father, then come back downstairs, then retrieve a knife to stab mom. Yeah. What, 7 more times? Yeah. I'm just reenacting the scene in my head because I'm like, that's the reason
what
why
you feel like happened.
Yeah, that's the reason why also when the stabbing happened, she had it had been some time in between her gunshot. So that's what's making me think that way.
In that room before moving into the foyer. There was no blood in the bedroom. It was thought that Rick had awoken to the shots and either ran from the room or perhaps attacked the perpetrator outside of the bedroom. It appeared that Rick had put up a fight. A clump of hair in his left hand and more around his wrist told the story of his struggle and was a valuable clue. Rick had also been shot, as well as stabbed, roughly 11 times in the back.
We don't want to miss anything, so we will look at everything, every room in the house, every carpet, every piece of furniture.
The hair from Rick's wrist and the broken hair clip from the living room floor were swabbed for DNA. The house was dusted for prints, and every room was searched. Investigators looked for indications that the Wamsleys had been robbed. It was possible they had awoken to spook the burglar. This theory was dismissed, however, when nearly $15,000 in cash was discovered inside the master bedroom. Even a cursory search by a burglar would have turned up the money. There did not appear to be any other items of value missing in the home either, nor were there any signs of forced entry.
Very nice people, wonderful people. It is a tragedy because it's unexpected.
They were just good friends. And we would, several of us, we'd eat together, we'd have a good time together, and, we'd be sad together, just like all friends do.
There was tension in the Wamsley household, particularly with the two children. Sarah had been kicked out of the house in her teenage years for acting out. She had subsequently found herself pregnant at 19 and in an unhealthy relationship with her daughter's father, a man named Todd Cleveland. She and younger brother Andrew also fought with each other, apparently constantly. According to an ex-boyfriend of Sarah, the family was reportedly suspicious of outsiders and believed their friends only pretended to care for them because they wanted something from them. In this context, the growing wealth of the family seemed to be more of a hindrance to their happiness than a benefit to their lives. By some accounts, life at home was unstable and did not reflect outward appearances. There was an agreement in the Wamsley household. If the kids stayed in college, they would be financially supported. That arrangement had not worked with Sarah, but Andrew took his parents up on this deal. He was gifted a new white Mustang, his insurance was covered, and he was given spending money from his parents. Andrew lived at the family house rent-free. The only trouble was he had not held up his end of the agreement. Andrew also dropped out of college. When his parents eventually discovered this, they cut him off financially, but they didn't go so far as to throw him out of the house. While tensions remained at home, the 19-year-old chose to spend most of his free time with a group of friends at the local IHOP. It was there that his friend James introduced him to his sister, 17-year-old Chelsea Richardson. Sarah Wamsley was delivered the news of her parents' death at 4 a.m. on the morning that they were discovered. Younger brother Andrew, however, was nowhere to be found. Police reached out to the media, calling for anyone in the public who had seen the teenager's Mustang to report the location to them.
For a white 1998 Mustang, the license plate on that vehicle is C23YDH. We're looking to identify the person that's in that vehicle who may have been a resident here.
Then, as forensic teams continued to work on the scene, the Mustang arrived. Emerging from the vehicle was Andrew Wamsley and his girlfriend, Chelsea Richardson. The two had been staying at Chelsea's for a few days. That morning, they had been watching the news and found out about the murders. The two were at the house for no more than 5 minutes. Lead investigator Standifor requested that the young couple follow him to the station for a chat.
That don't make sense.
Andrew's interview lasted about 45 minutes. He had not been at his house or in contact with his parents for days. He had been with Chelsea. Aside from a fresh scratch noted on one of Andrew's hands, there was nothing suspicious about his story. Andrew was free to leave. But before he did so, he signed a consent form allowing investigators access to search his Mustang. Speaking with Sarah after the interview, Andrew said, "They'll probably find our parents' blood in it." He told his sister that their mother had cut her finger and then for some reason had driven the Mustang around the block. So that will explain any blood, Andrew said.
That don't even make sense.
Not at all.
Chelsea Richardson's story to police aligned with Andrew's. The two had spent the last 2 days together. They had been inseparable since they met and began dating in the autumn of the previous year. The two would spend late nights, sometimes into the morning hours.
You said what?
I said she probably is. She probably has.
So
I don't know. I need more details.
no. Because I'm like, because the murders did happen pretty fast. Could he have been there? But he said the dad had like a fistful of hair.
Also,
And her wrapped hold on. Also, her wrapped around his arms. His hair ain't long enough to be wrapped around. I don't think.
Right.
He said kind of.
I was gonna say just like hover over, like when she was like out the car, when she was kind of like out the car a little. I was trying to see was her hair like pinned up because they said they found the little broken clip. You know, the claw clips.
Yeah.
I was trying to see because on the pictures that it keeps showing, I don't know. The mom probably have her hair.
That's
pinned
what.
too, but on the pictures
That's
they
what
keep
I was.
showing, she has it down, but I don't know. That's just one picture.
So where we at? 11 minutes.
A resident here.
So
Then, as forensic teams continued to work on the scene, the Mustang arrived.
she do have it. She have it pinned back.
Okay, we can keep going. I just was I'm trying
Because
to put things together.
it appears that it's not in a ponytail, but one of the ones where, say for because my mom used to wear that type of, especially back then. You got to think of the time too. So especially back then, my mom used to have it like pinned back like that, and then women would put a little clamp on it, you know, so it can stay in its form, or could be a ponytail, and then she got that little swoop. That was a popular hairstyle then. Cause then y'all used to have them the little clamps, the little small ones, little miniature ones.
Oh, those are different. Those are more for like the aesthetic. You talking about the ones that used to have like
It's a little, but it's like
tiny.
the clamp. Yeah.
Tiny. I used to have like some little very small ones.
Yeah,
like the butterfly ones.
Yeah.
But I used to like put those like on the top, like if I had like braids.
Yeah,
in the
it's
front.
more for like for style purposes. Yeah, I grew up with a number of women, man.
Here. The two would spend late nights, sometimes into the morning hours, at the IHOP playing a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
It is a Japanese collectible card game in which players use cards to duel each other in a mock battle of fantasy monsters. The central character is described as a childish and weak boy, but when he plays games, he becomes a hero. Bonding over their games, Andrew and Chelsea had become a serious item, even discussing marriage. Chelsea's mother, Celia, embraced the relationship and adored Andrew. Rick and Susie Wamsley, however, were open about their disappointment with the relationship.
What you said with the clamps thing, this doesn't look like a hairstyle you would clown. I'm like, you did point out a good point, is what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, I'm just wondering if they would find any hair in it or something.
Because I've seen plenty of women like this growing up. A lot of teachers used to have hairstyle like this. This now is a hairstyle you can clamp. Like, you don't see this hairstyle as being a clamp hairstyle.
You still can, but it'll just be the back part, and this part will still be out.
Because this is like a mullet. Yo, it's a couple teachers out here. That was their favorite hairstyle.
Man, my Spanish teacher had her hair like that. I always go back to her because
But you never see them like clamping their hair.
Yeah, but.
They wanted a different type of girl for their son. The Richardsons lived in Everman on the fringe of Fort Worth. It was known as a blue-collar neighborhood and stood in stark contrast to the million-dollar homes that lined the streets of Mansfield. Chelsea had suffered the unexpected loss of her beloved father a few years previous due to a heart attack. Celia had, at times, juggled 3 different jobs to keep the family afloat. But the Richardsons were nonetheless said to be generous people. Chelsea was an extroverted teenager and apparently quite popular at her school. Her gleeful personality had even earned her the nickname Bubbles. Her best friend, Susanna Toledano, was also a recipient of Chelsea Richardson's reportedly very generous nature. Finding herself on the outs with her own mother, Susanna had been welcomed into the Richardson home, where she had been living for several months. The three teenagers, Andrew, Chelsea, and Susanna, were together on the night that Andrew's parents were murdered. An ex-boyfriend of Chelsea's, Jeremy Lavender, confirmed that the group were at his house that night. Later, he spoke on the phone with Chelsea for hours, well past the time that gunshots rang out, at just past 3:20 a.m. Sarah Wamsley told the police that she suspected that the father of her daughter, Todd, could have been connected to what happened to her parents. She had recently threatened him with a call to Child Protective Services, and they fought frequently over custody. And there was one more thing, a suspicious incident that occurred the day after she made that threat, a month before the murders in early November. Returning home from a horse riding session with her parents in her father's Jeep Grand Cherokee, they were driving through a nearby town looking for a place to grab some lunch when the Jeep was rocked by a propelled object. Rick thought that perhaps a large rock had been kicked up from the road at the vehicle, but when Rick pulled over to inspect his Jeep, the family discovered to their surprise that it was not a rock that had hit them. There was a bullet hole in the body of the vehicle.
Oh, God.
Frightened and confused, Susie promptly placed 2 phone calls. The first call was not to the police, but to her son, Andrew. Where was he? It was odd that a vehicle following behind them from the ranch was a white Mustang. If Susie didn't know any better, she would have thought that her son was following them right up to the moment that the Jeep was shot.
What in the absolute? What is happening?
No. Yo, this is a confusing. What? That's weird, bro.
The second call that Susie made was to the police. She filed a report about the incident. Sarah recalled at the time she believed Todd may be at fault. Only later did she begin to question why her mother's first call had been to her younger brother. Sarah and Andrew stood to inherit $1 million in life insurance from their father. The family home was thought to be worth approximately $1.6 million, and there was also about $100,000 in cash and other assets left by the Wamsleys.
You said what?
I just said at that time it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One point
lot.
that time, it's probably about 2, 3, probably more. Let me see. What year was that? 2003?
I think so. That's what
You
I
said
wrote
1 point
down.
what? I'm gonna say 1.2 million.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
That was in 3 or today.
Ugh.
Let me see. 1 point. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. How many comments is that? I need 3 more. Huh? That's a lot, though. See, help a brother out. See, like, I can't see that either. All right. Yeah. That's what I thought. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I do that right?
It don't matter. Either way it go, it's.
I didn't do it right. But over $2 million.
I'm like, either way it goes,
That's
it's gonna be
still-
around the same.
Yeah. It's still like, that's still a lot, though.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, because hearing his girlfriend's background and knowing his background, and then his parents cut him off, is he was also trying to help his girl through his parents helping him. Them cutting it's fuel to the fire for both of them. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so that's 100% motive right there.
and there was also about $100,000 in cash and other assets left by the Wamsleys. Investigators followed up on Sarah's suspicions and ultimately ruled out her ex-partner Todd as a suspect. Considering the financial gains and the tensions within the family, both children remained of interest to investigators. DNA testing and fingerprinting, however, did not return a match to any family member. There was no indication that either child was connected to the crime scene. Forensic testing of Andrew's Mustang, however, confirmed the presence of blood in the back seat and on the headrests. But the vehicle had been thoroughly cleaned. Attempts to gather a viable DNA sample failed. Law enforcement was unable to even confirm whose blood had been left in the vehicle. And so, after several months, the investigation stalled. The DA's office needed more information. They opted to convene a grand jury and begin issuing subpoenas. Jeremy Lavender, Chelsea's ex-boyfriend, testified under oath that Andrew and his friends were with him that night, providing a solid alibi. Chelsea's best friend Susanna said the same. After she testified, Susanna agreed to also provide a DNA sample. Her choice to willingly have her DNA sample tested against evidence from the crime scene would prove to be the turning point in the investigation. Susanna Toledano was neither a popular student nor an academic. Having moved to Texas from Illinois a few years earlier, she was alone at school, flunking her classes, and arguing with her mother at home. Chelsea Richardson had become Susanna's lifeline. The two grew so close that Chelsea took out a page in their high school yearbook dedicated to their friendship. She even wrote a poem for them entitled Friends Forever. So when investigators found that the clump of hair in Rick's palm, as well as the DNA taken from the broken hair clip at the murder scene, matched that of Susanna Toledano, they knew that there was much more to this story.
The front door. What you said?
Bro, I did not expect that turn. Bro.
Well,
No.
you should have kind of expected something because in the beginning he said it was going to be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's not going to be straightforward. It's not going to be, oh, it's the son or oh, it's the...
Why would she have the motive to... Well, the blood was in the back seat of the Mustang and not in the...
Well, it says in the back seat on the headrest in the back or the headrest in the front.
True.
But either way it go, we couldn't tell who, you know, because the car had been clean. Also, this is the one that stays with Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
That be staying with her and stuff like that. You know, conversations, you have probably like Andrew. You know how like kids talk and you know that these, like someone come from like a wealthy family and you like,
why?
I don't know. It makes no sense.
Because you didn't get no money out of it, so
it makes no sense at all.
And why stab if you already shot them?
Or if it's one of those things you talking about how you like you vent to people how much you like someone has crossed you or someone or you talking about you hating someone or someone has done something to you, but you have this other person that feel like it's their duty to go handle that for you or take care. You
handle your business.
Yeah, like you didn't like not necessarily you asked them to do it, but you were venting to them about something, which we did a video about that. I think it was
we didn't do too many videos, so please.
Please. But yeah, you know that where they was like meeting up and talking, and then the dude ended up.
What's that, Mr. Baldwin?
I think it was like a Mr. Baldwin.
They hit that secret meeting.
Yeah, and the dude was venting about his wife, his ex-wife, and then
it was possibly a robbery. He was going over there to rob her. Because he was talking about how he had to drop all that money out.
Yeah, and all that. But yeah, like you were talking about this stuff, you know, amongst people that you so-called trust, or you feel that you can trust, and then they just soaking it in and feeling like, I don't know. Especially since she didn't really have anyone. It was just her, you know, Chelsea was her friend, and Chelsea dates. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Not saying that this is what happened. I don't know.
It's a maybe. At this point, it's a maybe.
Anything is.
Susanna, now physically linked to the crime scene, faced 2 capital murder charges. She was arrested in Chicago, where she was visiting her uncle. Susanna faced a possible death sentence unless a deal could be made with the district attorney. So Susanna started talking.
Ooh.
Initially, Susanna told police that she was out with a friend on the night of the murder, a 25-year-old man named Hilario Cardenas. Hilario had a gun with him, and he needed money. He went into the Wamsleys' home in the middle of the night on his own. leaving Susanna outside. From outside the house, she heard gunshots, then rushed into the scene. Her hair was left inside the house after Rick pleaded with her to stop the attack. But she had no real part in it, she said. She had no means to stop what had happened. It was all Ilario.
That makes no sense.
So who was Ilario
Y'all
Cardenas?
still didn't get no money.
Ilario, it turns out, was a restaurant night manager at none other than the local IHOP.
It's that
Father to a
society
young
shit.
daughter and admittedly strapped for cash, Susanna said Ilario narrowed in on the Wamsleys after befriending Andrew and becoming aware of the family's wealth. When questioned, Ilario denied being present at the murder, obviously. He did, however, admit to acquiring a gun for the price of $200 at the request of Andrew Wamsley. Andrew, Chelsea, and Susanna wanted it for target practice at a friend's farm. The night manager insisted that he had no part in the murders. Investigators sought confirmation of Ilario's story. They began with the owner of the farm where the teenagers had allegedly practiced with the handgun. The friend in question, a woman named Ruth Brustrom, knew Chelsea through her mother, and she did, in fact, confirm what Ilario had stated. Beginning months before the murder, the teens, Andrew, Chelsea, and Susanna, would drive out to her roughly 3-acre estate and spend time at what they called target practice. Taking turns, they would fire rounds across a small pond. She had never seen or heard of Ilario Cardenas, who subsequently also gained credibility with police after passing a polygraph test. The pond at Ruth's property was drained. Forensic teams collected bullets from the pond floor. Investigators concluded that what Ilario stated was true. The 3 teenagers had been practicing their aim in preparation for the murders for months. Susanna's initial story, pinning the murders on Ilario, had fallen apart under scrutiny.
Yeah.
But she was given another chance to tell the truth and to directly implicate her best friend. And this time, the story she told was more elaborate. Night after night at the IHOP, the 3 teenagers schemed. They estimated that with Rick and Susie dead, Andrew stood to inherit over $1 million. It would set them up for life. They would all live together. Susanna could quit the minimum wage job that she hated, and she would get a brand new car. So they convinced the night manager to purchase them a gun. Then, after target practice at Ruth's farm, the teenagers determined that Susanna was the best shot. So they set in motion their first plan: to fire a single shot at the gas tank of Rick's Jeep Cherokee. If they hit it, the Jeep would explode, they assumed. When Susanna...
So your sister...
The movie shit. Oh,
Yes,
you shoot the gas tank. Y'all.
You didn't care who was around, who else got hurt, who was...
To be real, he probably wanted his sister dead.
Because he would get...
He gets more of the...
And was her child in the car with her too? In the car as well?
I don't
know. But still, that is insane.
Because they had $1 million life insurance policy, but it would have been split between the two. He thought, if I take all of them out, I get the million, and I get the house, and I get everything.
Riding with Andrew in his Mustang fired at the Jeep and it failed to explode, they moved on to plan B: break into the house in the middle of the night. They thought it would look like a robbery. After Susanna failed to blow up the Jeep Cherokee, she reported that Chelsea was furious with her. The couple placed the failure of their first murder plot on her and pressured her to finish the job. On one occasion, they brought her to the house, hid her in Andrew's bedroom closet with the gun, and encouraged her to do the deed quickly so they could go home. Susanna hid in the closet for hours before leaving, admitting to Chelsea and Andrew that she just couldn't go through with it. But in the early morning hours of the 11th of December, they tried again. This time, there was no backing out.
Wow.
We're very happy that we're coming to an end with this. The investigation has turned this up. We're very happy with it.
Susanna admitted to entering the home one final time. In her version of events, she carried the gun, while Andrew and Chelsea held knives. It was Susanna that found Susie on the couch and fired. Then, led into the bedroom by Andrew, she fired at Rick, but she missed. Bullets struck the headboard and awoke the 46-year-old accountant. A struggle ensued when he attacked Susanna. It was Andrew that took control of the encounter. Susanna claimed to have been instructed at that time by Andrew, who was attempting to overpower his father, and Chelsea, who had appeared in the doorway, to leave the gun and check on Susie. She took a knife and left the gun. Before she left the foyer, Susanna heard Rick Wamsley already on his knees ask his son's girlfriend, why? Because I'm pregnant, was Chelsea's response. We can help you, Rick stated. We will help you. Susanna told police that she did not know which of her friends had fired the shots that killed Rick, nor which one of them was responsible for his stab wounds. At the time he was killed, she was back in the living room as instructed. And
Could have been. Your hair was in. You're still trying to somewhat remove yourself.
Remove yourself as much as possible. So you already said you put yourself like, oh yeah, I fired the, as what's her, Sarah?
Suzanne.
No, Suzanne. Sorry, I fired the shot.
Killed Suzanne.
Yeah.
But you trying to implement them as possible.
And you still trying to like protect whoever, because you're not giving up information. Your hair was in his.
Were you and Chelsea dating, low key?
Or she probably had like I don't know. You know, some people have weird obsessions with folks. I don't know.
Because she's still not 100% implementing Chelsea in it.
Just like, I don't want to say he did, and I don't want to say she did. So I'll just say that I don't know which one of them. Because in her head, she's not putting it on either one.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. It's weird.
ensuring Susie Wamsley met the same fate as her husband.
And next thing I know, there's all these people and I'm under arrest and I can't figure out why. Why am I here? You know, you don't understand. What in the world happened here, you know?
In exchange for her testimony at both Chelsea and Andrew's trials, Susanna Toledano was saved from lethal injection, a fate that still threatened her two former friends.
But he's not a murderer. And I'm here on behalf of the whole family, and we're all praying for him, that he'll be set free because he's not capable of it.
People do unfortunate things. People think that they know people, and then unfortunate things happen. People make choices, okay, and they get involved in things that they shouldn't be getting involved into.
Yeah.
The former roommate and best friend's testimony formed the foundation of the case against both Chelsea and Andrew, despite her having lied to law enforcement multiple times before landing on her final version of events. But Chelsea inadvertently did what she could to strengthen the state's case against her. Many of the witnesses for the state prosecution at Chelsea's trial were jailhouse informants, each testifying that she either bragged to them about taking part in the murder or that she attempted to convince them to create an alibi for her. Her original alibi, provided by Jeremy Lavender, had been recanted. Jeremy was described as a simple young man who had been easily manipulated into believing that Chelsea Richardson had been his girlfriend, and that he should subsequently lie to a grand jury to protect her. What? He too changed his story, admitting that he was not with the teenagers that night after all.
Wow.
Chelsea, the once bubbly high schooler, was painted as a kind of mastermind of the operation. The state argued that she convinced Andrew that he was better off without his family, and convinced her best friend, who was also malleable and easily manipulated, to kill for her. The jury was presented with a handwritten note from Chelsea to Susanna, composed shortly after Susanna's arrest. In it, Chelsea pleaded with her friend to place the blame on Ilario. She also claimed to be pregnant with Andrew's baby. All you have to do is tell them that we had nothing to do with it. Tell them that Ilario needed the money, so he robbed Andrew's family. If not for me, do it for the baby, so it has a life, a chance, and a mummy and daddy. She signed the note, Friends Forever, Bubbles. Asked on the stand whether she believed that Chelsea was in fact pregnant, Susanna said no. She knew that was clearly a lie intended to further manipulate her. There was no physical evidence linking Chelsea or Andrew to the crime. Susanna's testimony was the only reason to believe that either one of them had taken an active role in the murder.
Do you think they were in the house during the commission of it? Because none of their DNA is anywhere on the scene. That doesn't. I 100% believe that they were involved with the plot and coming up with all of that. But you believe that they were in the house?
Honestly, I can't say, but just based off the fact that no DNA from Chelsea or Andrew was found in the house, I'm thinking that they were there, but maybe not inside. Yeah. And they had her do everything because, of course, that's what masterminds and manipulators do, right? Like.
So this is what I'm thinking. Suzanne did it all by herself. Mm-hmm. But I do think Andrew came in afterwards and stabbed.
Okay.
Because that's too personal. Or Suzanne possibly, or
if
Suzanne
they
did stab to try to make it seem like a robbery, just not a direct gunshot, and make it seem more gruesome.
But even with the stabbing and it being a rob, like that's just too much.
So let me finish, right?
Go ahead.
So Suzanne wasn't a factor because she was blindsided. She didn't even have a chance to fight back, right?
You mean
Suzanne?
Susie.
Her name not Suzanne?
Susie is the mom. Suzanne is...
Okay. My bad. Yeah. Susie was laying on the couch. Mm-hmm. Sleep.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I believe Susie was shot first upon entering the home. After Suzanne shot Susie, she went upstairs. The only reason why the father decided to get up and fight back, he probably wouldn't have fought back if 3 people is standing there. It would have been an easier kill. Mm. It was a fight struggle because he, as a man, I can overtake her. I know her through my son. Mm-hmm. And it's a female. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to fight back as hard as possible. She had a gun on her. Maybe one of them were in, but he had to have her by her hair at some point. And possibly she's screaming out. They in the house though. That's when I'm like, it is a possibility. They were in the house.
Can I chime in? Do you think they were in the house? Okay, finish.
I'm saying go. You said, do I think they were in the house? What?
No, I'm just thinking. I'm wondering, like, do you think they were in the house the entire time? Or do you think after, because you remember she went upstairs after she shot Susie, right?
Yeah.
And missed him. He in the bed, missed him. It woke him up. It hit the headboard. He gets up, tries to fight back. Because keep in mind, he ended up downstairs.
Hold on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The thing, I'm like, how, also I need to see how big, where's the location from Susie laying on the couch to the main suite of the home. Mm-hmm. Because if Susie is shot, she shoots Susie first. That didn't wake him up. He didn't hear the gunshot.
Some people sleep heavy.
But you hear the gunshot when he's laying asleep. I'm gonna just walk over there, put the gun to the head, pow. Why I'm gonna stand from a distance? Because that's what you did, Susie. You walked up on Susie and shot her point blank in the head. Why you just didn't do that to him as well?
Never know. Don't know.
It ain't.
A lot of things don't make sense sometimes, and also it's not like she'll like.
I understand, but if you walk up on Susie, shoot her point blank in the head, Richard's still upstairs asleep. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna walk up on him. Wow, it's
true.
Easy.
I get you. I agree with you. I don't know where you was getting to though. The reasons to say all that.
Because I feel like he woke up at some point, and I feel like I just don't.
Because their thing is they feel like maybe he woke up after she shot and missed because it was a bullet. Yeah. It was a bullet hole in a headboard.
That's because Suzanne said that she missed the shot, and that's what woke him up. But the reason why I said this is because she's trying to remove herself completely from killing Richard, which Richard also had a gunshot wound
and stab wounds as
And
well,
stab
and had
wounds.
your hair in his hands.
So he had to
And
be in
wrapped
close
up, so-
range of you, and he had to have your hair
At one
balled
point,
up.
because I'm thinking maybe
He had it in his hand and wrapped around his arm.
Because I'm thinking at one point maybe you did shoot and it woke him up. You missed him. He was able to get up as quick as possible. I don't know. Try to tackle you or try to defend himself.
A scuffle between y'all
Something
two.
happened. Maybe he drug you downstairs. I don't know. At some point, because his hair. Because you're trying to take yourself out of it. I'm like, you were in close proximity to him.
Too close.
At some point for your hair to be in his hands and wrapped around his.
And the son came, Andrew, helped
Yeah.
attack him to free you up. I believe Chelsea wasn't in the home at all. I don't believe Chelsea at the home at all. Because also that's the reason why Andrew believes that his mom DNA was going to be on the steering wheel. Because he possibly hated his mom more than he hated his dad. He stabbed his mom first. And he knew his mom DNA might be on the steering wheel. Because he never said dad.
Or had even entered the house that night. But the testimony of their former friend
Oh, my bad. Let me take it back.
had only evidence linking Chelsea or Andrew to the crime. Susanna's testimony was the only reason to believe that either one of them had taken an active role in the murder, or had even entered the house that night. But the testimony of their former friend proved ruinous to the defense teams of both alleged conspirators. Jurors believed Susanna's story. The jury in Chelsea's trial took less than 4 hours to convict the 21-year-old of the murders. Deliberations at Andrew's trial took half that time.
I mean, a lot of things were said that weren't true at my trial, that people lied a lot.
Chelsea Richardson was sentenced to death by lethal injection. Andrew Wamsley's legal team managed to convince the jury to keep him off of death row. They argued he suffered from a schizoid personality disorder that made him unlikely to be violent in the future. Defense witnesses during the sentencing phase presented Andrew's life as a sad and empty one. He was characterized as a young man without the normal human ability to understand love or affection in his relationships. His defense was further hampered, according to his attorney, by the fact that not one member of his family would assist or support him in any way. Andrew Wamsley, at the age of 23, was sentenced to life imprisonment with a possibility of parole after 2044. After the many long nights spent scheming at the local IHOP, Ilario Cardenas was found to be complicit in the plans to kill the Wamsleys, though he did not take part in the act when the time came. Ilario was indicted on the lesser charge of conspiracy to commit capital murder and was sentenced to 50 years in prison. He will be eligible for parole after serving a third of his sentence, which is in 2023. Chelsea Richardson, the apparent mastermind of the operation.
He'll be what?
Eligible for parole.
Oh, so he was. Well, that's
that doesn't necessarily mean he's out. But
yeah. I just said that's passed, so I wonder what was the ruling on that.
I was trying to. I can't remember his name. That's why I look.
That's how you spell it, but I don't know the last name though. But I guess you can type in that information. I think that's how you spell it.
2023. Chelsea Richardson, the apparent mastermind of the operation, spent just over 10 years on death row in Texas. In early 2012, her legal team successfully argued that her sentence be commuted to life imprisonment. They proved that evidence had been withheld by the state from her defense team at trial. This included an assessment by a psychologist, which concluded that Susanna Toledano was the mastermind behind the plot, not Chelsea. The assessment included statements made by Susanna admitting that she was more guilty for the murders than anyone else involved. And
yeah, she gonna say that because she's the one who killed both of them. So yeah, she because she's so easily manipulated, and she's so weak-minded, she's gonna feel the most guilt out of everybody because she's gonna say, because she cares too much about Chelsea. Because Chelsea also looked out for me. Because she's weak-minded. And so she's like, I'm the one that's guilty because I'm the one who technically killed both of them. But Chelsea is the mastermind. She's the most evilest one because she sit up here. She brainwashed her. Really, she brainwashed Andrew as well, low key. He had hatred towards his parents, but she was also, and she, because
What you about to say? Manipulated Jeremy too.
Jeremy and Hilaro, she manipulated everybody.
I definitely, I agree with you to a degree. Like, I agree with you. Yeah, she definitely is a manipulator, but also we all do have choices, you know. And I get how manipulation works, but also you can still, in a sense, be like, I'm not taking someone's life. I'm not taking my mom and my dad's life. I'm not about to get a weapon for y'all to go target practice so that you could take out your family. I'm not about to lie for you. Like, I'm not doing all that. But I do get that everyone is different, and I do get how manipulation works, and I do get that some people are more weak-minded, and it's easier for them to feel like this is something that they, like, because keep in mind, she came here, didn't have any friends. Chelsea took her in under her wing. It was like one of those things. It's like more so, this is my only friend. I owe her. She's like, I'm staying with her. She took me into her house. She's been nice to me. Like, you feel like you owe her the world. But I'm not taking nobody's life, child. Ain't that much owing in the world that I'm not doing it. Is that how? I had wrote it down real quick when he had showed it.
That's how you spell it. I looked it up another way. He filed an appeal. I had to look through it. I was trying to see.
That she could have prevented the killings. Susanna Toledano is currently incarcerated in Falls County, Texas. She'll be eligible for parole in the spring of 2034.
Oh.
And that was the story of the Wamsley family murders. Thanks for watching. I'm Kevin. This is Just Thought Lounge.
Damn, Kevin.
Rest in peace to Rick and Susie. That is... Ugh. That's... And it's like, y'all took their life for nothing. You got nothing. Like, I don't know why you felt like this plan was going to go through and there was going to be... Nothing was going to be linked back. No one was going to ask questions or... That's just dumb.
You gotta be quiet because I'm just.
I'm done. I said what I had to say.
Yeah, so he did file an appeal.
You have to probably read through it.
Yeah, I had to read through his appeal because it got a lot. Well, yeah. I had to read through it.
But 9 times out of 10 probably was who conspired with 3 counts.
Yeah. So I don't know. He could have gotten out. He couldn't. 9 times out of 10, when you go for your first parole, they deny you. So
yeah,
no telling. I wonder what's Sarah doing.
The
now.
daughter.
Yeah, because the grandchild's grown now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And she would have inherited everything.
That's heartbreaking and devastating.
Because she would have inherited the home, the insurance, everything. But at the end of the day, your parents are gone. But also, their relationship was very... So I don't know how she looked at that. Was it a sour relationship? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, things are rocky.
Some people... You know how some people...
I mean, but she was still around. Like, I mean, that's family. I get it. Like...
Everybody's different.
Everyone's different. Everyone is different. But she was with them the first time y'all tried to...
Take them out.
Yeah. Which is... That's crazy to me that y'all even... thought to even do that.
Bro, look at them. That's all I say. Just look at them.
But yeah.
Y'all spend what's up, man. Let us know y'all thoughts in the comments for us down below about it, man. But... Until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Ain't no time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.